Well, Ulysses, the Tampa Bay Rays took 2 out of 3 against the New York Yankees. Was hoping for that beautiful sweep, but alas, it did not happen.
It seems like deja vu all over again, right? What is bittersweet? What does that mean? We're going to learn again on this episode what that means.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
And we're the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making Locked On Rays your very first listen every day. And remember, Locked On Rays is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube at Locked On Rays. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Rays, and email us anytime, lockedonrays@gmail.com. Well, Ulysses, as we mentioned in the open there, the Rays take 2 of 3 from the New York Yankees at Tropicana Field. One a blowout, another one a close nail biter that they get away from. And then Game 3 on Sunday, you could very much make the case that they got robbed, they got jobbed a little bit. But hey, they won the series, so they gained a little bit of ground, but they could have gained a lot more ground with that sweep, unfortunately.
Yeah, when starting the series, there was the potential of being 3 games away from the first place Yankees. You win the first one by a landslide, and boy, was that fun to be at the Trop on Friday evening. I had a blast. It was such a good time. Saturday, tremendous. So now you're smelling it, the actual reality that, yes, you could be 3 games away from the Yankees. And yeah, were you robbed on that last pitch? There's many different camps that you can be on if you're a Rays fan. Number one is 100% that was a ball jobbed. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The second camp would be that's too close to take, Yandy. You got to protect, man. That's another camp. And then the third camp would be, hey, that's the way that it rolls. Yeah. And I think Kevin Cash is on the third camp. He's like, look, it's not just that one pitch that made us lose. And you got to kind of agree with camp number 3. Like, yeah, does it suck? Yeah. Should he protect? Maybe. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, you can't just rely on 3-2 bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth to come through. Like, you had 26 outs to play with, and unfortunately you couldn't because Frankie Montas apparently just really likes pitching very well against the Rays only.
Right. Evidently. A couple things there with the Yandy Diaz situation. I guess Vic Carapazza just isn't going to make anybody happy, either in the Rays dugout or the Yankees dugout. Now, Yandy Diaz, you've got to be able to protect there for sure. And that credit to the pitcher for making a really good pitch. Credit to the catcher for framing that pitch. And also, I will say this, Yandy Diaz should probably deserve a little bit of a benefit of a doubt, considering he might have the best strike zone judgment and plate discipline in all of baseball. At least he's playing like that and showing that as of right now. So, and that wasn't the only other bad call that we saw, but yeah, the Rays had other opportunities. I mean, didn't the Rays not waste or squander a leadoff double from David Peralta earlier in the game? You get nothing out of that. Yeah. So can't just blame that one situation there, but man, it really would have been nice to go home with a sweep there. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know that every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonmlb. That's linkedin.com/lockedonmlb to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. So looking at this game or this series a little bit, Ulysses, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, what did you take away? What did you really appreciate about what the Rays were able to do over the course of this series, or maybe what the Yankees were not able to do? You know what? I should just rename them. We should temporarily rename them the New York Judges, because it's Aaron Judge carrying that team. Like his shoulders, his back has to be killing him as of right now.
Check Aaron Judge for a herniated disc or 5, because my goodness, you're right. It's just him. It's just him. So the Rays were really getting the Yankees at an opportune time to get that elusive sweep. Both consecutive series, you were so close to going back-to-back sweeps against the New York Yankees in their place and then back at yours. So if I had to take one thing away from this game, it has to be the pitching. Yet again, the Rays pitching staff just shows up, and just like they have the whole season, and doesn't let this offense, even though it is in a slump, they still have good players. And this is where I want the Rays bias to kind of drop a little bit. That is a good lineup. It's not producing like it should, but they have good players. Okay, they have good players with pedigree. And yet the Rays did what they needed to do to a slumping lineup, which is put them down. 9-0, perfect. You shut them out. 2-1, great, fantastic. Kluber was just terrific. And then in the last game, the bullpen, it was basically a bullpen game. I know Yarbrough did his thing for 2 2/3. 2 2/3 or 3 2/3? I think.
I can't remember.
But Shawn Armstrong, 3 really big innings in back-to-back outings. For the first one, of course, when Shane McClanahan was scratched. Then this one as well. Shawn Armstrong looked like the weakest link, and yet he has been stepping up lately. And by lately, I mean like his 10 last outings. Another guy who looks like maybe we don't carry him into the postseason because of his struggles in his last 10 outings, Colin Poche, showing up, friend of the pod, doing great. So that's good to see. So if I have one takeaway, it's the pitching staff, man.
Yeah, it's funny because you look at the Yankees, and I guess there's myriad reasons why the team is struggling right now. It certainly doesn't help the pressure of the media market, the pressure of the ownership, the pressure of the fan base. But you look at that roster and the guys that they are relying upon to produce in late August, September into October. Look at their ages. Josh Donaldson, 36. Matt Carpenter, 36. DJ LeMahieu, 33. Rizzo, 32. Aaron Hicks, 32. Giancarlo Stanton, 32. Higashioka, 32. I think that has to be a little bit taken into account, is the age of some of these guys as you get into the later half of the season. And maybe it was just a case of these guys running out of steam. Baseball is a young man's game. This isn't 1998 through 2004 steroid era where you can be 37, 38 and feel like you're 25. You're 36, you might feel like you're 40, 41.
Yeah.
In this day and age.
And I love that you said that, because that's kind of been the flag that a lot of Yankee fans have been screaming during this extended slump. Like, bring up the young guns, the Oswaldo Cabreras, the Oswald Perazzas, the Florials, the Estebans. Those are who they want to replace these old dogs, because they're not producing right now. So why not give the young guys a shot? So from what I've seen, Cabrera defensively, he's going to be a thorn on the side. Peraza, apparently the pop is real in AAA. In the last 53 games, he had like 14 home runs. So maybe that can develop even more when he grows up and learns MLB pitching. But that's who they have right now. And I think the fact that they're leaning on the old ones so much, you haven't even mentioned IKF, but I'm pretty sure IKF is also like either 30 or 29. Like, he's no spring chicken either. So look, if they keep doing that, perfect. That's to the benefit of the Rays. And I've said this before the season, that it's a bad omen for the Red Sox and the Yankees to start being really smart in the front office, because that takes away from the edge that the Rays have. But in this scenario, I don't know why they're not being smart with taking out some of that the old guys, maybe that are slumping so badly.
Yeah, it could be one of those in-betweens too, and it might be an off-season exodus. Like, I'll be really curious to see what they do. I'm not sure necessarily his contract status, but I'd imagine he has at least a year or two left on his contract. And they might not even be able to get anything decent for him, but Josh Donaldson with his inflated contract, and he's giving you a 679 OPS, and all he does is he does more bickering than hitting and jawing. And you know what? It's kind of crazy. Like, a guy with that career that he's had, an MVP, 3-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger, Major League Player of the Year, 45 career WAR, and he's relegated to doing this stuff. I think he's a little bit of again, this is just me. I have no inside knowledge, but I get the sense that he's a little bit of a clubhouse cancer. I mean, look at it. He's been on 5 different teams in 5 years.
Again, you can have all the talent in the world, and we say this so many times in this podcast that I'm pretty sure the loyal listeners that listen to us Monday through Friday are like, "Oh man, you're gonna say it again." I'm going to say it again. This is a job.
Right.
This is a job. It can be a fun job, but it's a job. Nobody likes going into the office, or if you're in the remote world, nobody likes logging in and having to chat on a Zoom chat or in a conference room with the guy who just thinks he's all that and blah, blah, blah. Like, nobody likes that guy. Nobody.
Right.
They put up with him or her, but it's no fun. It's no fun. And 5 teams in 5 years, that's no coincidence, man.
Yeah.
That's not like, oh, that's so crazy that that's legitimate there.
Right. And there was that whole dust up between him and Tim Anderson, and depending on how much you paid attention to that incident, Yankees players didn't back him up at all. And Josh Donaldson called them out for better or worse, saying he was hurt that they didn't have his back. So he's a little bit of a problem. I mean, we're not lying here. Since 2018, Toronto, Cleveland, Atlanta, Minnesota, New York. 5 different teams since 2018. And it's so funny because Josh Donaldson, just like Aaron Boone, like, the Yankees are supposed to be above everybody else and have class, and you can't have facial hair or a mustache, or I don't know if you're going to you have to have the pinstripe. There's this aura of, oh, we're better than you, but they're pretty low brow in terms of how they act on the field. No?
Yeah, no, 100%. And Shawn Armstrong's not trying to hit him there. Are you kidding me? By the way, cool. Christian Betancourt getting in front of him, just having Armstrong's back. Like, dude, I said it. I think we both did when that trade went down. We were like, yes, this is good. We love this trade, but it has just exponentially increased the love that I have for this player. Like, he is really good. Like, not really good in the field, but I like his persona, and that just like we're talking about Josh Donaldson, clubhouse cancer. Christian Betancourt looks exactly the opposite. Like, he looks like your boy. Like, you want to, something's about to go down. Christian Betancourt is going to have your back. And he had Shawn Armstrong's back. And that's really cool. And there's also, just like, this is locked on baseball brawls here. There was a camera shot right behind home plate. I don't know if you got to see this, but when the pitch came in, Josh Donaldson goes down, starts bickering. Betancourt goes in the middle of it, and Taylor Walls and Isaac Paredes started inching closer before the dugouts went in. Love that. Yeah. Have your boys back. So good on Christian, good on Taylor Walls, and good on Isaac Paredes.
Absolutely. And that's big for if that's something I would expect Mike Zunino to do. Like, if you're a catcher, you have to take on that onus in that role for sure. So what the Rays did, they did make up some ground against the Yankees, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Rays remain 5 games back of the Yankees in the AL East. So I will ask you, as of this recording on the evening of September 4th, I'm not going to say, will the Rays win the division? I'm going to say it differently. Will the Yankees win the division? Yes or no?
Man, the Rays fan in me wants to just tell you no, they won't, because I believe if you're a Rays fan and you saw what 2011 was and what had happened and ultimately what occurred in Game 162, if you were alive and you saw that thrilling ride, there's no way that you don't believe in baseball magic.
Yeah,
there's just no way. Like, and if you live through that and you're staring at the standings and you say, no way, that's 100% impossible, then man, go touch some grass. That's what I got to tell you. Turn off the screens, turn off the statistic machine and the Fangraphs odds. Turn that off for a little bit.
Yeah.
Go outside, barefoot, touch the grass, look at the sky, look at the trees, go listen to some birds singing. Be in the real world. Things can happen, man. And so I will say right now, I'm optimistic. I am going to say yes, the Rays have a shot, or no, the Yankees could not win the division.
Right.
But it's so tough, though, because like you need it to be 3 games away with a matchup with 3 games left.
Yeah.
That was going to be huge. Now they've really got themselves in a pickle. Now, the Yankees have a 4-game series starting tomorrow against the Twins. Okay, they have no off day, and then they meet the Rays.
Yeah.
The Rays, on the other hand, have a 3-game set with the Red Sox, Thursday off game, and then they go to Yankee Stadium. So they can have a little bit of a rest day. If the arms are used against the Red Sox, they can have one day to settle in. So they have that advantage against the Yankees, which apparently the bullpen has been, like you said last week, been put together by Scotch tape and bubble gum.
Right.
The advantage is Rays. But again, it's really tough to sweep at home like we just witnessed. It's going to be really tough to sweep the Yankees in the Bronx.
Although you could almost flip it and say there's also a lot of pressure on the Yankees to take care of business at the Bronx, because I feel like that fan base could turn on the Yankees or certain Yankees players, and there's even more pressure for them at Yankee Stadium conversed with playing at the Trop.
Oh, I like that a lot. Like, I mean, Hicks is going to hear it.
Yeah.
Hear it. IKF going to hear it. Josh Donaldson going to hear it.
Yeah. The only one that's not going to hear it is Aaron Judge, but he'll hear it, but in a good way.
Exactly. Like, and again, 53 home runs. It's ridiculous what this guy's doing. Like, it's stupid. It's
and credit to Jason Adam for getting out of that pickle. Yeah, you give up the solo shot to Aaron Judge, but coming back and not letting that ruin the outing or ruin the outcome of the game was huge, because there's a lot of guys that would falter in that moment. So
and if we're throwing out names from the weekend, Jeffrey Springs, my goodness, great. And again, the Josh Donaldson interaction with no, you won't throw me a fastball, no, you won't. It's like, dude, I threw you 3.
Yeah,
and you couldn't do anything with them. By the way, in the next 5 minutes, you're going to make 2 errors.
Right.
But you worry about yourself. Good job, Jeffrey Springs.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. Again,
I do not like Josh Donaldson at all.
Well, I don't think his teammates do either, quite frankly. So I think it could be a case of the Yankees have to get peanuts for him in return if they decide not to bring him back. Like that's a tough situation that you have to deal with for sure. Now, not to get into, we're not going to do necessarily a preview here for Red Sox and Rays, but the Rays are facing the Red Sox, who have won 5 in a row. They swept a 4-game series against the Rangers, and then they won a game before that. So they are coming around somewhat. I mean, depending on the level of competition, but still, 5-game winning streak does give that squad momentum. What I'm curious about, though, is by the time the Rays face the Yankees again, that would be next Friday, correct?
Correct.
Or this coming Friday.
Mm-hmm.
This coming Friday, will Wander Franco be in the Rays lineup? Because he begins or was set to resume a rehab in AAA Durham on Sunday. And that might be obviously that would be your X factor, assuming that he feels good, healthy, and is back to his, what the expectation level for a guy that signed a $182 million deal. So having him back in the fold would be huge. And I also would be curious to see what do the Rays do with their roster complexion. Who do they send down or release in that case? Like, do you send down Vidal Bruin? Do you send down Jonathan Aranda? Do you give up on Yu Chang? Do you send down Paredes? Do you send down Walls? I don't think they would do this, but you could technically release Ji-Man Choi. You have a Phantom IL situation, and it's something that may work itself out, depending on, we've seen it before. We got so many guys. How are we going to fit them all? And then, 2 guys go down with some crazy injury. So that's possible too.
Yeah. Look, first of all, Wander Franco on Sunday night's game, I don't know if you saw what he did.
I did not.
2 for 4, 1 RBI, 1 walk. I mean, I didn't see. I'm just looking at the box score. So this is box score.
Box score bingo.
Box score bingo or box score analyst here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for Franco. I mean, that's pretty good. I don't know if 1, 2, 3 games would be enough for them to say, okay, you can join the big league club.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Like a week after being gone for almost 2 months, that
True.
seems kind of not proportionate. But let's say yes. On Friday, they go like, look, man, we need you here better than the Durham Bulls need you. So come up on Friday. That would be a very, very sexy acquisition.
Yeah.
And to the second point would be like, oh, well, who do you send down? All that? Bro, Ji-Man Choi has been MIA since like June 25th. Like, go send out
Phantom IL?
Phantom IL, go take care of whatever is happening to Ji-Man Choi. And then they're like, oh, well, there's too many middle infield. No, we saw Jonathan Aranda can hit.
Yeah.
Jonathan Aranda can take your walks. Jonathan Aranda will make mistakes with the glove, at least at second base like we saw him. Maybe, we're putting a lefty DH guy on the Phantom IL, Ji-Man Choi. Could we maybe put a lefty guy, DH guy in that spot, like Jonathan Aranda? And maybe, everybody loves Taylor Walsh's glove. What's not to love about his glove? He's amazing. Well, put him at second base.
Defensive replacement. Yeah.
Give shortstop to Wander.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many with Wander. So if he played Sunday, he could play. I don't know what Durham's schedule looks like, but if they've got a game Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday when the Rays have an off day, that'd be 5 rehab games, maybe get 15, 20 at bats. I don't know if that's enough. We'd have to see. I mean,
they have a Monday night game against Scranton, then a Wednesday night game against Scranton, and then Thursday night game against Scranton.
Okay.
So he could potentially have 4 games under his belt, and there's an off day on Tuesday. So he could potentially have 4 games under his belt, and then they can be like, you know what? Meet us in the Big Apple. They could.
So the Rays are playing in Scranton, or the Bulls are playing in Scranton.
No, they're playing in Durham.
Okay. I was going to say that'd be very convenient to, hey, you don't have to take a flight or anything. Just make a little taxi ride or take an Uber.
How close is Durham? I mean, North Carolina, right? So like what, an hour and a half flight?
Oh, yeah. Man, I'm not a travel agent here, but it wouldn't be crazy, I don't think.
You're not a travel agent, but what would the person getting Wander Franco's bags in New York sound like? If they were from New York, what would they say?
You
hey,
can
Mr.
take
Franco.
That's it. You don't have anything else?
No, I'm leading you on to the New York accent.
Oh no, I'm not doing the New York accent. I embarrassed myself enough with the Neil Solondz impression. So yeah, so that'll be
Mr. Franco. Here your bags. Hey, your bags.
There we go. You're getting it. You're getting it. Okay. So that's an ongoing development for sure. Now you're at the game on Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the atmosphere like? What was the the percentage of Rays to Yankees fans. Just take it all in for, give us a lay of the land, if you will.
All right. It was like around 60 to 40 Rays fans.
Okay.
But my goodness, and we've had this argument before. I don't like how most Rays fans just chill during the game. And I know we've had this back and forth. Like, look, it's their own, it's their baseball experience. If they want to chill, they want to chill. I get it.
Yeah.
But when the 40% is louder than the 60%, that annoys me. Because then it feeds the narrative of like, oh, they don't even have fans. The Yankee fans are more. It's like, no, I'm there. I can literally see that there are more Rays fans there. But we just have Rays fans have a culture of like, we're under the AC. We have $5 Bud Lights and Budweisers at the Budweiser porch. Everything's cool. Raymond's nice. DJ Kitty's cool. There's the Jumbotron. I feel like the culture is not there for Rays fans to just be loud and wild.
Right.
I feel like the Yankee fans have that in them. Is it because they're from New York? Is it because they're Yankee fans? I don't know. Maybe it's a mixture. But that annoys me. There are more Rays fans, and they're louder than us.
And that annoys the players too. I'm sure the Rays players on the field when they have to deal with that.
Of course, it would. But no, it was super fun. And I'm not the chill guy. Yeah. I will say my stuff. Man, Saturday morning or driving back, I had no voice whatsoever. I laid into him. Every time Jeffrey Springs either struck out or got Judge out, I completely went mental and said, Ohtani better than you. Ohtani's better than you. I kept Hicks too. I was like, Hicks, come on, you're a bum when he struck him out. Like I have fun at the game, and I think people should join in on the fun.
And the Rays, or the Rays fan base, or just people who plan to go to a baseball game on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, as we had that little fun wager of, will that 3-game series draw more than 60,000 fans combined? They did, in spades. I mean, they drew close to 65,000 over the course of the 3-game series. Nearly 18,000 on Friday, nearly 22,000 on Saturday, and a sellout on Sunday, 25,000 plus. Pretty good. That's what you're looking for if you're the Rays. So anything else that we should mention or tie up from this 3-game series against the Yankees?
Michael Wacha, Rich Hill will face the Rays in this Monday-Tuesday game. It'll be interesting to see if the Rays can stop that hot streak from the Red Sox, just like they did. They stopped the Rays 6-game winning streak. So hopefully we can repay that to the Rays, to the Red Sox, or at least they can.
Mm-hmm.
We won't be playing. Also, we do have something to say. We will have no episode on Tuesday, people. You loyal fans, thank you so much for all you do and your feedback. We won't be live on Tuesday. We will come back on Wednesday with a mailbag episode, which we will be recording in around 5 minutes time.
Yes.
And then go back on Thursday and Friday with Evan Klosky.
See, we're switching around our Labor Day weekend a little bit. We wanted to throw the Monday episode out because it was so fresh following the Yankee series, and we take a breather on Tuesday, and we'll have another episode for you on Wednesday, which is our mailbag episode, of course. Thank you for making the Locked On Rays podcast your very first listen every day. Now make your second listen the Locked On MLB podcast. That is also free and available on all platforms. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you on Wednesday.